For the last 3 days, one man has been causing absolute chaos inside the Linda Mwananchi movement. That man's name is Caleb Amisi.
Because nimemsikia Mheshimiwa Sifuna, Senator Nairobi, amesema na akasema mbele ya Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua kwamba katika mashindano ya urais kuwe tu na majina mawili, William Ruto and another name.
It's a lie.
Social media has been very furious with him.
Lakini sasa kumbe Caleb Amisi ako na roho ya kisuje. Caleb Amisi ako na roho ya wivu.
Some people are calling him a mole, a sellout. People even think that he's Ruto's project inside Linda Mwananchi.
MP wa Saboti is speaking the language of William Ruto.
People are saying that he has been sent to destroy Edwin Sifuna.
We Caleb Amisi ba. Caleb Amisi. Na hii roho yako ya kisuje umetoa wapi?
So I had to do a deep dive on this man because I didn't want to judge him before I actually understood him. And what I've discovered is crazy. I think people have completely misunderstood him.
Even what my friend Sifuna said is not supposed to be. That's not why we have Linda Mwananchi, no.
Because what this man is proposing for 2027 might actually be the smartest strategy that the opposition has right now.
But there's something Caleb Amisi is saying that we need to pay close attention to.
And honestly, it might actually terrify William Ruto more than anything that Edwin Sifuna has said so far. Let's talk about it. If you love this kind of content, go ahead and like this video and subscribe. Now let's get to the video.
What if Sifuna stood and say, Mzee Kalonzo? What would be the impact?
Hapo ndio utanyorosha hii town kama mwendazimu.
Itakuwa ngumu.
Atakunyorosha, atakwambia utajua sisi sio Sifuna.
Now, here's what triggered everybody. The last few days, Edwin Sifuna has been moving closer and closer to the united opposition, very publicly. He apologized to Rigathi Gachagua, public, on camera. Then, he said that he's willing to work with Fred Okengo Matiang'i.
Tia gazi ya Matiang'i haishindi uchungu ambaye William Ruto ameleta katika taifa letu. So ndugu yangu Matiang'i, mimi niko tayari kama kiongozi wa Linda Mwananchi kufanya kazi na wewe.
Then he praised Kalonzo Musyoka live on camera. And this wasn't media spin. This was actually live broadcast.
Lazima tukubali, it is no longer about our personal feelings about each other.
So naturally, people started seeing Sifuna as the bridge between Linda Mwananchi and the united opposition.
Hata huyo Rigathi Gachagua alikuwa anaamka 6 AM kututubia tia gas nikiwa na baba 2023, lakini kama yeye ndiye atashika mguu ya fisi, Matiang'i ashike ile mguu nyingine, Kalonzo amembana huku kwa shingo, alafu Sifuna ampige mshale, si tutakuwa tumemaliza.
But then Caleb Amisi came out and said something totally different.
Vijana wote unaona wanafuata mtu mmoja anaitwa Sifuna. Usipokuwa na huyo mtu kwa ballot, hawatapiga kura.
And boom, people started panicking because suddenly he sounded independent, he sounded rebellious, he sounded like he was refusing to fully merge. And immediately people started saying, this guy is a mole. This guy will destroy the movement.
He is a mole in the opposition. By the way, jamaa ni mole because he's rocking the boat. Usimama kutuambia ati kama Edwin Sifuna asimami ati watu wataamka kuvote. Yet Sifuna mwenyewe alisimama akatuambia ati hii movement ya Linda Mwananchi is not about Edwin Sifuna, it's about saving this country.
But because I'm not everybody and a lot of you put a lot of trust in me, I decided to not just make conclusions. I decided to actually listen to him and judge afterwards. So I watched his entire political headache interview, 1 hour, 40 minutes. And after listening to him carefully, I realized something important. This man is not confused. This man is very strategic.
Amisi. And I don't know, do you consider yourself a genius? Because I'm seeing the scores.
What a place to start the interview.
First of all, you need to understand where this guy comes from because it explains so much about his politics.
So perhaps we could start with your story. Who is Caleb Amisi? Where are you born? Where do you go to school?
Caleb Amisi says that his father died 2 months after he was born. His mother abandoned him under a tree. He was actually raised by his paternal grandmother. That is the mother to his father. Yes.
Going to primary school barefoot.
Yeah.
Sometimes I tell people, if you look at my legs vizuri huku chini,
Yeah.
the contours are still existing up to date.
Yeah.
Although I've done some good work in this Nairobi spas.
Do you understand that this guy says he wore his first pair of shoes the moment he joined Form 1?
My first shoe, I wore it in Starehe Boys Center.
Your first shoe?
Yes.
This is clearly someone who was not born into privilege.
We've gone through that rural setup life.
This is someone who has fought for every single opportunity. He got into Starehe Boys through pure academic brilliance.
From elementary to doing my KCP in 2000. And I emerged to the top of the class.
Okay.
He says that he had the highest marks in his, I don't know whether it's district, province, or whatever it is.
I eventually scored the highest in the Western region. I was the top student in the Western region. And among the top nationally.
Yeah.
I beat all the academies.
And politically, the guy has always been strategic.
Oh, okay.
I had the sons of 4 ministers in Moi's government, my classmates. Top.
He went to the University of Nairobi to study something to do with commerce. He even campaigned for Babu Owino when Babu Owino was going for political seats inside the university.
But university politics, I used to just campaign. Babu Owino, I campaigned for him. I was his chief campaigner.
He even campaigned for Peter Kenneth, the High West Make movement. Oh, in West Make.
I started my campaign when I met Peter Kenneth. Na tukaanza tuna West Make.
Mlimake.
Atuku West Make hiyo time.
Then he decided to try politics for himself. He ran as an independent member of parliament for Sabaot, but he failed and he realized something important, that in Kenyan politics, structure matters. So he joined ODM.
But sasa mimi nilichomoka na nikaingia ODM. So
chama kubwa.
Chama kubwa ya baba. I did my arithmetics well, nikajipanga vizuri, nikatafuta some good resources, I went back.
And despite Sabaot not being an ODM stronghold, he won twice.
And I got elected.
Now he's a second-term member of parliament, meaning this is not some random loudmouth politician. This is a calculating political operator.
When I was 3 years old, in primary school, Musalia Mudavadi was a minister for transport. I'm now a second-term member of parliament. He is still a minister.
And his biggest belief is this: Kenya cannot keep recycling the same old leaders forever.
Now you are talking about Caleb Amis, who is now 38 years. Can you imagine the Gen Z who have lived since they were young, seeing the same people, the same cabal of politicians?
That is his entire ideology. He believes that Gen Z want an entirely new political order, not recycled names, not recycled handshakes, not recycled betrayals. A complete reset, or what he might call a renaissance.
But one of the things that stands out about Caleb Amisi is that in many of his communications, even on social media, he'll always talk about Kenya needs a renaissance.
Now, here is where people completely misunderstood him. People thought that Caleb Amisi was actually attacking Sifuna, but listen to him carefully. I don't think that is what he was doing. I think he was warning Sifuna and his fellow principals, and his warning was very simple. He says, you cannot beat William Ruto by playing the same game that William Ruto is actually playing.
And I have, I'm saying that one is not a game you cannot win a game of tribal groupings against a state. Because the state is the owner of those tribes.
That line hit very hard because think about it. Ruto's greatest political strategy is actually tribal coalition building. That is how he won 2022.
William Samoei Ruto.
So Caleb Amisi is basically asking, why would the opposition enter the same battlefield where William Ruto is strongest?
These are people that Ruto knows so well and that are playing the game that he knows so well. These kids will see these are just the same people. Okay. They'll be at home. They say to hell, wacha wachaguane wenyewe. William Ruto will win.
Instead, he proposes something very radical, something very different. He says, do not unite too early. As a matter of fact, he says, let Sifuna build his base. Let Gachagua build his base. Let Kalonzo build his base. Even Matiang'i, let him build his base separately. Let all of them go to the ballot.
Why not run this person? Run this person, William Ruto. The guy will come number 3.
Yes, let all of them go to the ballot. At first, that sounds very dangerous. But he explains why. And honestly, this is where it gets genius.
You do your thing. Let the United Opposition continue doing what they are doing. Let the Linda Mwananchi continue doing. Let even another force come up. Continue what they are doing. Eventually, William Ruto becomes irrelevant. Slowly, unamumaliza nguvu. And that's why I'm insisting, the best way to remove William Ruto is to create a runoff.
Caleb Amisi believes that no candidate is able to get 50+1 in round 1. And the TIFA poll actually supports that. Look at the numbers. Ruto in that poll got 24%, Kalonzo got 19%, Matiang'i got 14%, Sifuna got 10%, and Gachagua got 9%.
Do you have a feeling that if we have this presidential candidate, then Ruto cannot garner 50+1?
He cannot. Atatoa wapi?
Nobody of all those people is even close to 50%, meaning a runoff becomes very likely, not very likely. It becomes a must.
You see that now is 24. Why is he 24? Because there are many. So you've seen Uyu 24, Uyu mwingine 10, Uyu 5. Sinaona anatoa?
Yes.
So already you are denying him 50+1. And you may actually deny him even counties.
Now, this is the important part. Caleb says the runoff solves the opposition's biggest problem automatically. How? Because right now, everybody wants to be the flag bearer of the opposition. Everybody thinks that they are the strongest. But if they run separately first, Kenyans themselves will decide who is the strongest candidate in the opposition.
But after election, you already know huyu amekuja na kura ngapi. You already know.
Yes.
Sitaonekana. Sasa ziweke pamoja.
In round 2, or what you might want to call the runoff, everybody will now unite behind the strongest opposition candidate. And suddenly, William Samoei Ruto is actually finito. He's actually finished. But Caleb Amisi even suggests something even more dangerous for one William Samoei Ruto. He says,
what is Ruto left with? He will be number 3 or 4. You've removed him completely. Runoff. Yeah, runoff, you just need 1 and 2.
What does that mean, guys? That the incumbent president will not even appear in the final round. That would be political humiliation on a historic level.
Now, the coalition of Linda Mwananchi and United, now you can meet. And the former government.
When you really listen to Caleb Amisi carefully, you realize that this man is not sabotaging Sifuna.
It's a lie. It's a total lie. I'll tell you, a unity must be followed by the spirit of that moment politically.
He's trying to maximize on the opposition's chances to actually win this thing.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. Because there are people who want Caleb. Hawataki kusikia stories zingine. Nikianza kumwambia sasa jinyi watu sikizeni. Penye tumefika, nataka msupport huyu. Wamekuwa wakifuata wewe si huyu. They'll just go home and relax.
Now, whether people accept this strategy or not, that is an entirely new discussion.
Caleb Amisi is saying that hatuwezi join fragmented opposition. Simply because, like, the only reason we are joining fragmented opposition is because tunataka kutoa Kasongo.
Kenyan politics is actually emotional, very tribal, very personality driven. But purely from a strategic perspective, I understand exactly why Caleb Amisi is saying what he is saying. And honestly, it makes a lot of sense. Maybe the opposition's biggest mistake would be forcing unity too early. Too early. Right now it's too early. Maybe their strength is actually in expanding their numbers first. Kila mtu atafute kura. Kila mtu atafute watu ambao watasimama nyuma yake. Then consolidate it later. Because one thing is becoming very, very clear. 27 is not going to be a normal election. People have likened it to the 2002 election. Yes, this one will be about strategy. And if the opposition makes even one major mistake, William Ruto will actually survive. And I don't know tutaficha wapi sura zetu. But if they play this correctly, then the runoff could be the president's worst nightmare.
Sometimes you have to listen to divergent views that wants you to make it in life. Sindio?
Okay.
Kuliko wale tu wanapiga tu makofi kila siku, wanakupigia na kumbe unaenda.
But I want to hear from you. Do you think that Caleb Amisi is a genius a mole, or a simply misunderstood guy? And what do you think the opposition should do? Should they unite right now? Should they wait for the runoff strategy? Please comment down below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, please like and subscribe. Now, see you on the next one.